What's going on, everybody? It's Joel here, and today we're going to be doing the first impressions video of the Nike Metcon 5. More specifically, the Matt Fraser Player Editions, which shock dropped on Tuesday. I just got them in yesterday, did some walking around in them, did a quick little workout. Today, we're not going to be talking about the performance of the shoe. I'm going to be saving that for the full-on review. Today, we're really just going to talk about what I think about the shoe initially, what I think about the criticism of the shoe, how I think the shoe fits. So that's going to be very important when it comes to sizing your shoe when they actually release on the 8th of July. That's the global release date for the Metcon 5. Unfortunately, the Matt Fraser ones are all sold out. It's Friday the 28th. They did sell them today on some retailers such as Dick's Sporting Goods, Rogue Fitness, Eastbay, but they sold out really, really fast. So if you wanted these particular shoes, you're gonna have to hit the reseller market. Nike on Twitter had already said that there are no plans to restock the shoe on Nike.com, so I would not hold your breath. But anyways, I'm gonna stop talking and we're gonna take a look at the shoe. The design is a little polarizing. Some people think it looks like a bowling shoe. I personally am not in the camp that think it looks like a bowling shoe. I think it's a really sick looking training shoe, and I think it's one of the better designed ones. But the reason why people think it looks like a bowling shoe is because it's got this stripe down the middle of the shoe, and it's got two colors. There's a black side and there's a white side. Most bowling shoes have two colors and they're split down the middle with a line. I wish my bowling shoes looked as cool as this, but I digress. Some people still have that image. So as a joke, I took these shoes to the bowling alley yesterday and I did a quick little Instagram video of me bowling with these shoes on. No one actually knows what that stripe signifies. My best guess is that it signifies the leader shorts that Matt Fraser is usually wearing in the CrossFit Games. It's on both sides of the shoe. Some people say it might be an ode to Redline Gear, which is Matt Fraser's original sponsor, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with the CrossFit Games. Anyways, the design got a lot of hate initially. People disliked the higher sidewalls for the rubber outsole, but I thought they actually kind of looked pretty good, and honestly, from afar, still just looks like a Metcon to me. The funniest thing that I heard about the little sidewalls of the Metcon is that they looked like Thanos' chin. I thought that was hilarious. They're actually ribbed to catch the rope a little bit better. The new upper design has this, what Nike calls the haptic chain link upper. It's a little bit different than the haptic tri-star print that they had from the Metcon 4s, but it's basically there to give you a little bit more durability on top of the mesh of the upper of the Metcon 5s. On the Matt Fraser Player Editions, you do have a leather Achilles heel area, and it's got the three circles signifying Matt Fraser's wins at the CrossFit Games. On the normal ones, there is just like a normal fabric back part. There's no TPU heel counter anymore. And then there's a polarizing part of those, which has kind of like this over-designed, little over-detailed area that kind of has the specifications for the Metcon. And I don't know how I feel about that just yet. It's growing on me, but I don't really care for it. At the back, you do have the TPU heel counter, and then on the bottom, this particular model has a clear outsole. It is rubber, it's their sticky rubber. It's got a new tread design that kind of catches the rope, or is designed to catch the rope a little bit better. But honestly, I can't really comment on the amount of grip the outsole has just yet because I haven't really done too much in these shoes. Matt Fraser's signature on the bottom of the shoe, and then there is Matt Fraser's signature right on the tongue of the shoe, which I think is probably the poorest part of the design of the shoe, because that right here is a little sharp and it actually rubs into the front part of your base of your ankle, front of your ankle, that area. So I do recommend wearing like crew socks or higher socks when you have these shoes on. It does have fly wire for the lacing system, and then new to the Metcon 5, there is the option to lace lock. So if you have any kind of issues with heel slip, you can just go ahead and lace lock right there. The Metcon 5s get a brand new drop-in midsole that is dual density. There is a stiffer heel area, which is pretty much identical to the density of the Metcon 4s drop-in midsole, and then you have a much more flexible, much more comfortable, soft forefoot area that I think really makes the Metcon 5s, and it kind of resembles the Nano 8 in comfort there. So the drop of the Metcon 5s is still 4 millimeters, but they do include inserts, 8 millimeters for the men, 6 millimeters for the ladies, so that you can slide them right on top of the drop-in midsole and get an extra little bit of heel lift, which honestly is a little gimmicky in my opinion, but some people have used these. They say they really like them. I just kind of feel bad for Versalifts that were making these before, you know, Nike decided to come and rain down on the little company like that's parade. The total effective heel height, I think, for the men's is just under ½ an inch. So one thing I found pretty surprising about these shoes is that they're really heavy. When I went to weigh them, they were 13.3 ounces. That's on the heavy side of training shoes. And I thought the Nano 9s were heavy. These beat them out. Another thing that I kind of find disappointing on these shoes, especially these being the Player Edition Matt Fraser Special Editions, is the laces. They're really cheap and kind of flimsy, but if they stayed tied, it's not that big a deal. I haven't put in too much work in them. They're actually kind of like the same thing as the Metcon 4's laces, so they'll probably stay tied, but they are a little bit on the flimsy side. So now we're going to take a quick little look at the Games colorway of the Metcon 5. This one has people on both sides of the spectrum. I think more people dislike this one than like it though. And that's because it has the Metcon logo written on the side of it. In pictures, it looks a lot worse than it does in real life. I promise you, in real life, it's actually kind of cool looking. I was taken aback because I thought it was silly looking in pictures, but in real life, it actually does kind of look clean. And this one is the female model. The back part of it is kind of like a rose gold. I don't know if you can see it with the light shining on it, but it is a softer rose gold. I'm not sure the guys is going to be any different. It might be, if anything, just like a normal shade of gold. And then on the back heel area, you do have all the specifications of the Metcon 5 in true off-white fashion. It has like the drop, it's got like the testing hours and yada yada yada. It just kind of blends in on this one because it kind of has this like rock marble-ish backsplash to it, which I think looks really, really cool. On the normal models, it's going to be just a standard, just black or white area. So I do like the textured design back there. All in all, I think the Games colorway is actually a lot better looking in real life than pictures make it out to be. Oh, you do have like gold tips on laces, which are oddly more of just a normal gold on this one. And in the inside, there are some more rose gold accents. There's a rose gold Metcon logo on the tongue. And yeah, these ones are supposed to come out, I believe, in late July, but don't quote me on that. And one thing that I thought was pretty funny about these was that they do come with a sticker that says the chrome finish will flake off with use over time, which is pretty hilarious. Okay, so now we're going to talk about a hotly debated topic that has been going on my Instagram, and that's how your Metcons should fit. So I ordered these in both a size 10 and a size 10.5 because I just was not sure. The Metcon 4 XDs in a size 10 fit me a little bit snug. So that kind of had me worried, and I was like, well, I'm just going to order both of them just in case. And I'm glad that I did because I find that the 10.5 fits me better than the 10 does. I feel like the Metcon 5 runs on the small side. Some people don't believe me, so I stacked all the shoes up, the Metcon 5s, in a 10, 10.5, the Metcon 4s in a 10 and the Nano 9s in a 10, and the smallest one out of the bunch was by far the 10 Metcon 5, whereas the 10.5 Metcon 5 was pretty much identical to the 10 Metcon 4 XD. So if you don't believe me, I mean, that's fine. But in my opinion, I think these shoes run on the small side. So I would go half a size up from your normal training shoe size. With a size 10, I can wear it. I don't think it's the most comfortable thing. I feel like my toes are too bunched up in the front of the shoe. I do have Morton's toe, so pretty much all my toes on the outside part of the shoe touch the front. That's not good. It's not good for your foot health, and you should not wear shoes that tight. So with the 10.5, I do not have that issue. Another reason, and this is the main reason why I think the 10.5 is the better option for me, is because in the size 10, it feels like I have more heel slip. Like these shoes are pushing my foot further back and out of the shoe. But sizing your shoe at the end of the day is personal preference. If you want to wear your shoes tight, be my guest. If you want to wear your shoes loose, you're probably better off because you could wear thicker socks, you can adjust the fit, you can lace it up a little bit more. But if you're wearing your shoes on the tight side, there's nothing you can do really, except mess up your feet. If you have been using the Nano 9s and you want your Metcon 5s to fit like your Nano 9s, then for sure, go for that half size up. Nano 9s have a ridiculously big forefoot toe box. And if you want that same kind of space, and it's not going to be identical, the Nano 9s still beat the Metcon 5s out in toe box space, you will have to size up. So like I said, I'm not going to really talk about the performance of these shoes. I'm going to save that for the full-on review of the Metcon 5s. But real quick, the biggest difference from this shoe compared to all of the previous Metcons is that dual density drop-in midsole. It gives the shoe an insane amount of flexibility in the forefoot area. It's soft in the forefoot area, it's plush, it's comfortable, but you still have a little bit of clunkiness in the heel because of the harder density back part of the dual density midsole. It's very similar to the Metcon 4. So if you're used to using those shoes, you'll feel right at home. That's not going to feel all that different. The contact area at the heel of the shoe kind of has this like these edges that come out. So that does give it a little bit of a clunkier feel at that area, but it doesn't feel nearly as wide as say like the Nano 9 does. Still, you have very pronounced edges. So it does have that Metcon feel as far as stability goes in the lateral department. We're going to really test the stability of the Metcon 5s today. I have some heavy barbell movements coming up. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, I will have an update about the shoe there where I pretty much do all my updates as I review shoes. But as of right now, I am super impressed with the amount of comfort and flexibility of this shoe. It's unlike any other Metcon before. And when it comes down to it, if you were to ask me would I take this shoe over like the Free X Metcon, which is probably my last favorite Nike shoe, I would go with the Metcon 5. I think that these are comfortable and I would trust these even though I really haven't done too much with them for like any kind of weightlifting, be it Olympic weightlifting or powerlifting. So as of right now, I'm extremely impressed with what Nike has done with the Metcon 5, and I hope to have the review out within a week or so. But if you guys have any questions about the Metcon 5 in the meantime, other than Metcon 5 versus Nano 9, leave them in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer them. But if you ask me that question, I for sure will not answer it. Anyways, this has just been a first impressions video of the Metcon 5. Look out for that full-on review coming in about a week. If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And as always, thanks for watching.